Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. And as I have noticed for a very long time, even if you look at any country, even if you look at any geopolitics, or even if you look at the history, you will see that the person, the kingdom, or the country who has been successful in terms of spreading their narrative, they have been the winner of that particular time period, I would say. Or let's talk about today's scenario. This is very true. So that's why it is very much important to be a good storyteller in today's world if you want to be heard. With this, I would move forward with the club's mission. The club's mission is to provide a conducive, supportive, and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. General directions for online sessions. Ensure that you are logged in with your correct name. It will help us to identify you easily. All speakers, role takers are requested to add the name of their role next to their name. All the guests are requested to prefix guest before their name. It can be done by clicking the participants tab to rename yourself. Know when your camera is on and avoid doing any activity that may distract the speaker. Guidelines for online sessions. Please mute your microphone except when it's your turn to speak to avoid background noises from interrupting the meeting. Please unmute your microphone and start your video when the Toastmaster of the day or the table topics master asks you to do so. Let the hosts and co-hosts handle all the controls. Sergeant at Arms Guidelines. Refrain from speaking about religion, sex, and politics in a derogatory manner. Avoid interjecting the speaker when he or she is delivering a speech, evaluation, or report. Avoid conversations in chat publicly when someone is speaking as it may distract the speaker. Please raise your hand to volunteer during table topics session to speak. Look out for the green, yellow, and red colored cards on the screen. They will be displayed by the timer at the appropriate times. At the end of every segment, please cast your ballot when the host displays the polls on the screen. Now, I would like, as let me tell you, at today's Sergeant at Arms, I am, and presiding officer is absent for the timing, so I will be taking care of that. And I will be introducing myself as well, right? So I'm Toastmaster Suraj and currently serving at the Toastmaster Club Lucknow as a VP8. I have already served as the secretary and sergeant at arms of this club. And it's been almost more than 2 years since I have been into Toastmaster. And I can see that Toastmaster Nikhil has joined. So Toastmaster Nikhil, just let me know if you are ready, or I'll just take care of the presiding officers. And I would request Toastmaster Sia to come and please give your introduction, because I think I have seen you for the very first time joining this club.
Okay. I am Sia Agarwal and I am a BBA second year student at Sri Ramurthy Smarak College of Engineering and Technology, and I hail from Bareilly. I completed my studies from St. Maya Gority Inter College, and my hobbies are cooking and dancing. And in my spare time, I also like to know about jewelry making and the different designs, and also reading some books. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what kind of books you read? Even I love to read books.
Actually, I love don't like that much reading books from offline. I read content online. Some
Okay, that's great. I mean, somehow the reading should be habit that
I
helps
don't
us.
read books actually. I read content from.
Content.
I slip. It is a slip of my tongue.
Okay,
Actually.
it's all right. Like doesn't matter what from where you are reading, but at least you are reading. So that is something which would appreciate. So thank you so much for your introduction, and I hope you will enjoy the meeting. And as of now, I can't see any new members, so I will not take much time to have conversation. And now I would request someone on this stage who is today's table Toastmaster of the day, and he is someone who has been into Toastmasters since 2023. And by profession, he is a software engineer, and he has been first runner up during District 124 Humorous Speech Contest. And he is none other than Toastmaster Pulkit Gupta. So I'd request all the audiences here, all the participants to welcome him with a huge thunderous rounds of applause. Toastmaster Pulkit, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Suraj, our presiding officer and Sergeant at Arms. So I will be your Toastmaster of the day, essentially the meeting host. And since the Toastmaster today also chooses a theme, the theme that I've chosen for today is around storytelling, more specifically around the mental models you can use to tell better stories. Before I even dive into the mental models for storytelling, have you heard of the two words stories and anecdotes? Have you heard both the words? Do you think a story and anecdote are same, or do you believe that a story and an anecdote represent different literary constructs and they are different? Or do you think a story and anecdote is same?
To be frank, I have never thought of the differences between a story and anecdotes, but I can sense that there must be some difference, which on which you will be shedding light
Sure,
today.
thanks, Suraj. Yes, yeah.
Actually, I don't know the meaning of anecdote. So can you please explain?
Anecdote. So often you would have heard speakers, right? Let me share an anecdote of me going to my school yesterday. It's like a retelling of events. Even in story, we have retelling of events, right? For example, a story could be me growing up and ultimately going to college and then going to my job and learning few things. So essentially, since both story and anecdote are retelling of events, what do you
Okay.
think is the difference, or do you think is the same?
I, as far I understand, it is the story is refers to anything we. It can be imaginary also, but anecdote is refers to the incident that happens yesterday or to any time, which we tell to anyone else. Am I getting it correct?
That could be one way of saying it, yes, because anecdotes generally are more real because
Okay.
and stories could be imaginary. But
Yes.
from a pure play point of difference, the biggest difference between anecdote and a story. Okay, let's take examples. Let's say there's a retelling of events where I used to believe that I cannot do public speaking, but then something happened, and then I started believing that yes, I too have the potential to be a public speaker. Versus an event where I go to a Toastmasters club, attend a meeting, and then join the club. Do you think first is a story or second is a story? First is me basically changing from a person who does not believe that I can be a public speaker to essentially believing I can be a public speaker too. And the second retelling of event is simply me going to Toastmaster at TMCL and I liking the meeting and I joined the club. If you have to give a label what would you label event one, retelling of events one as a story, or would you label retelling of events two as a story? TMCL as a story, or me believing that I can be a speaker as a story?
I think incident event two can be a story.
I think is the flip. That's the flip side. So see, a story demands an emotional change in the character. An anecdote can be simple retelling of events. For example, if I tell a story about me thinking that I'm not built for the stage, and then something happened, and then I started believing that I too can be on the stage. That's exactly what you see in movies. Great movies. You will see characters having an emotional change. Story demands an emotional change. Anecdote could be me going to a grocery store and buying chocolates. It's an event, right? It happened in my life, but nothing changed. In Toastmaster, the reason we keep on tell stories is if you simply retell your events, it's called reporting of life. For example, yesterday I went to grocery store and I bought Cadbury Dairy Milk. It was beautiful chocolate. I liked it. Great wrapping. Thank you. People will feel that like a waste of their time. हम क्या करें? Uh, but if you tell stories, this is why we say called vulnerability. When you share stories about you believing that you're not worthy, that you do not deserve to have happiness in your life, that you don't believe your life is worth to live at all. And then something happened and you start believing that, yes, I'm worthy too. I have a life and I deserve happiness, right? This is called what we call a fairy tale ending. You start with a problem statement where the character is down and out, and then you basically transition, what we call the roller coaster ride, to the character essentially become a rock star. And this is why people love fairy tales. All fairy tales have a happy ending. Not all movies have that though, and those movies are not everyone's cup of tea. For example, Gangs of Wasseypur may not be everyone's cup of tea because Gangs of Wasseypur has no happy ending. But something like Dilwale Dulhan Le Jayenge, it's a mass movie. People love that, right? Ultimately, people want entertainment and to feel good. Feel good movie have happy endings. But that's a story for you. At a very macro sense, a story is कि मैं ऐसा हुआ करता था, I used to be someone like this, then this happened, now I am like this. अब मैं ऐसा हो गया. That's a story at its very basic core. But to chart that entire structure, we often have a mental model, which we call, many people can call it in various different ways. Today, I'm going to discuss the 6C model. The 6C model essentially has the technical side of story and then the emotional side of the story. For example, in a movie, there are technicals, right? There are characters. There is cinematography. There is the clothes the characters wear, the dialogues they speak. That's the technical part. So the first 3C in storytelling is curiosity, circumstance, and characters. Remember, that's the technical side because without cinematography, without characters, without conversational dialogues, there is no movie. But these three things do not emotionally pull us, right? Ultimately, they are technical sides. Important, but the last 3C is what makes a movie have a soul. Many story reviewers, movie reviewers consider that the story lacked soul. The soul is the emotional pull. The last three C's are conflict, which I believe is the arguably most important thing in a story. If your story or a speech does not have conflict, it won't be able to retain audiences, or audience will feel kuch to missing tha. Then if you have conflict or problem, then you need to have cure. Because if you in a story, if you just share the conflict, yeah, I went on the stage and decided, no, public speaking is not for me. I'm not worth it. Thank you. You will leave audiences conflicted. कि बताया क्यों? मतलब, if you leave them with this problem and not the solution, you're doing disservice to them. Because if you're bringing a problem, it's opposite. If you are bringing a problem, show the solution. That's it. And because public speaking, if you think about it, people hear public speakers only for two reasons. Either if you promise a solution to a common problem they have, or you promise them entertainment, pleasure or pain. It's called the pleasure or pain analogy or paradigm. Either they will hear you if you can prevent them possible future pain, or they will hear you if you give them pleasure. For example, if I share you a story about how to start a company and not fail, I am preventing you possible future pain. You will hear me. क्या मुझे company start करनी है? Pulkit is saying that let's hear how to start a company and learn all the wisdom so that I don't fail. So I am preventing you pain. Then you will hear me. Or I promise you that, hey, today you're going to hear a story which will leave you in laughter and splits and will be the greatest story you will have ever heard. I'm promising you possible amusement of pleasure. Then perhaps you will hear me, because audiences need to decide whether they want to invest time or not. So I believe that conflict, the fourth C, is the most important point. But a conflict needs to be followed by a cure. And then you have the change. The last C is the change. After the conflict, how did you change? And how can the audience learn something from it? That's the 3C model, 6C model. Curiosity, make them curious. Bring characters, set the circumstance in which the characters are operating, whether it's an office, whether it's a cafe. And this has to happen in the very first minute, because technicals, especially in Toastmasters, we only have 7 minutes for most speeches. Contest speeches, I think across the globe, the standard is 5 to 7 minutes. There's also platforms like Moth Storytelling, which have 5 to 7 minutes only. It's a global standard. So short speeches are generally 5 to 7 minutes long. So you only have a minute or less to make people curious, to bring the characters and set the circumstance. And then you bring the conflict. Then happens the cure and then the change. Let's deep dive into curiosity before we open the general evaluators segment. In the curiosity part, one great technique we use is called the tap and transport formula. It's by Craig Valentine, the 1999 world champion. And I really like it because it says that tap into your audience's world first before you transport them to your world. And this is why in Toastmasters, we often start with you focus question. Have you ever had a problem in your life which left you shaken? We don't ever ask that, do you know I had a problem in life which was shaken? Because I don't want to be the focus in the very first few seconds. I want the audience to be your focus. Because a great public speaker knows that he essentially is absent. The audience is to be serviced. So because I'm not doing public speaking for myself, I'm doing it for the audience. This is why we often tend to ask, great, he started with the question, or we often advise that please start with the question. The beauty about asking a you focused question is it can be engineered to be even more lucrative. So the idea is just have more use. I'll give you an example. If I ask, have you seen children wrecking home? That's a question possible, right? I'm saying, have you? Worse is if I say, have you ever went to your home to see your children wrecking your home? Now we have more you and yours. The idea is your first question should have maximum number of you or yours. Because, for example, if I say, have you seen children wrecking home, or have you seen children breaking things? It's a generic question. But if I say, have you ever went to your home to see your children breaking things? And that, if people have children, or if they don't have children, they can still imagine their children breaking their home, right? That's the thing, is you're putting them in driver's seat immediately. So ask questions like, have you ever went to your college to see, or don't ask that, have you been to a school? Let's say you can ask, have you ever been to your school and realized you're getting old? So that's a better, because you, yours, and you are getting old. We have two yous, one your. The idea is that your first you focus question should have more yous or yours. That's better. Tap. Then you transport. Transportation is that once you set the once you engage them, make them curious. A good tap and transport frame could be something like that. Have you ever received a gift from your family which has left you feeling bitter? Perhaps it was a gift you do not like. I got a gift too. It was a gift from my mother-in-law, as an example. But this gift was special. It was an old sweater, but that gift was special. It changed my life. It was August 2022 when I was sitting in my sofa. So I asked a you focused question with more, I think, multiple yous and yours. Then I made the audience curious. It was an old sweater from my mother in law, but this sweater was special. It changed my life. Now, the question the audience might ask is, how did this sweater change his life? And then you start with the story. And this is from one of the speakers actually evaluated in one of the contests at District 41. I won that contest, which is district level. It's called Elevate to Evaluate. And again, the same advice. For example, we can have another example over here. It could be that, have you ever went to a stage and realized that you don't belong there? I too used to believe that. But an autumn evening at Toastmaster Lucknow changed my entire life. And I started believing that I too can be a public speaker. It was May 2022 when I first went to Toastmasters. So I engaged the audience with a pain point. It's called the verbal knife, that people may feel that they don't belong on stage. Verbal knife is when you are basically putting a knife and twisting it. You are basically playing with their pain point. And then I bring up element of curiosity. How did TMCL ultimately change my life? Or I could also even make it more curious that it was an autumn evening with one of my friends, changed my entire perception that I too can be worthy. So you're basically just, it's called foreshadowing. You're foreshadowing what's about to come. And then you transfer to your story. Remember, most of these are mental models. You can always twist them, you can always play with them, but these are guidelines. They are not absolute truths. If you feel foreshadowing in your story can basically kill your story, don't use it. If you feel it can make your story better, do use it. I will just share one last 30-second example before I dive into the structure and G section. Like Craig Valentine has an example that he says that, what do you believe is the major element of success in your life? Do you think it's persistence? Do you think it's consistency? Do you think it's hard work? If you're thinking all three, you're wrong. Because one evening in my home taught me that success has a completely different formula. It was 1989 when I first went to this meeting and so on. So basically, he's now making people curious that if it's not consistency, if it's not hard work, if it's not luck or anything, what is it? That's called foreshadowing. If it fits in your story, do it. But the idea is tap and transport. Tap into audience's mind, make them curious, transport to your story. Or let's come to the 3 segments in Toastmasters. We have prepared speeches, which today we won't be having. So I have much more wiggle room as a team, or so I will try to. And this is why you will see me speaking a little more. We don't have prepared speeches. We have table topics though. And I will encourage everyone who hasn't had a chance to be on stage as a role player today to do participate in table topics. It's your chance to shine. And then the general evaluator segment where we will have the tag team reports. We won't have speech evaluations. And perhaps I'm not sure, but we can also have TT evaluations if the club deems it in its. I'm not sure of the role playing agenda, but mainly tag team reports should be there. Let's now call the general evaluator. And Suraj, who will the general evaluator?
I have pinged you.
Okay, Nikhil.
Yeah.
Nikhil, okay, sure.
And Toastmaster Nikhil.
I mean, very able general evaluator. He's your president of Toastmasters Lucknow. I had a chance to see Nikhil at his. So he's also a leader currently. He's a AIR director, but he's a multifaceted personality. He's not an AD. He's in the past has been a district level finalist in international speech contest. I have never been able to go to district in ISC. Still trying to go there. So yeah, that's a feat that really does inspire me. And as a person, he's extremely soft spoken. Whenever I've seen him, he's always smiling, firstly. And if you talk to him, he's ever so humble. and you can feel it. You can always feel the humility and his humbleness. It's my pleasure to welcome your general evaluator, Toastmaster Nikhil. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pulkit, for such an introduction. And honestly speaking, talking about our public speaking abilities, I still remember that the moment I saw you delivering your division level speech, and that was I was very new to Toastmasters, and I think that was the moment when I felt like I want to be like this person is speaking on the stage. Probably back then I didn't even know your name, but I remember it was in Gurgaon. I'm not sure what the name, Nagaru, or what was the name of the company, right? So that is where I saw you for the first time. So a lot of credit, I would say, goes to you for where I have come. But anyway, everyone knows about Pulkit, and they're just like me. There are so many people who have had the inspiration from you. So thank you so much for the introduction. And as the general evaluator, my responsibility along with my team would be to ensure that the meeting is conducted under the guidelines of the Toastmasters International, and we will be presenting the reports of our respective roles as well. And before we move forward, I would like to introduce my tag team to all the members present here. Tag team, that is my timer, our counter, and grammarian for this meeting. Starting with the timer for today's meeting, uh, allow me a second, please. So today's timer is Toastmaster Tanmay Singh, sorry, Toastmaster Alex. And Toastmaster Alex is an easygoing person, a curious person who enjoys learning new things, taking on new challenges. Joined Toastmaster a few months back only, and have since then has been one of the most active members of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. Outside work, Toastmaster Alex loves to play badminton, meet new people, and explore new ideas. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Alex, who will brief you about his role. Over to you, Toastmaster Alex.
Uh, Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. So, I'm Alex, and I'm today's timer, and I'm responsible to keep a track of time taken by various speakers and role players. So, as we all know, there is no prepared speech today. So, I will be calculating time for the table topics. So, each speaker is encouraged to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and I will show the green card at. Can you see my screen actually?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, wait. Now can you see my screen?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
So I will show the green card at 1 minute, and yellow card at 1.5 minute, and the red card at 2 minutes. And you have a grace period of 30 seconds on the plus side. And for evaluator, you have 2 to 3 minutes, and the green card is shown at 2 minutes, and the red card is shown at 2.5 minute, and sorry, the yellow card is shown at 2.5 minute, and the red card is shown at 3 minute. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. Any speaker who finishes before or after the grace period will not be considered for the award. I will submit my report at the end of this meeting. So back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex, for briefing us about your role today. Next up, we have Toastmaster Tanmay, who is grammarian for our today's meeting. Toastmaster Tanmay is a passionate graphic designer with a flair for visual storytelling. He brings a creative spark wherever he goes. With a keen eye for design and a growing interest in public speaking, he joined Toastmasters to not only refine his communication skills, but also to step out of his comfort zone and grow as a confident speaker and leader. Toastmaster Tanmay, the stage is yours to brief about your role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. Now I'll be presenting my what a grammarian is supposed to do, right? So, as a grammarian, my job would be to pay close attention and take note of the usage of grammar as well as a good usage of words, vocabulary, and English throughout a speaker's speech. I'll be also sharing with you the word of the day and the phrase of the day in today's meeting. I'll be sharing it in the chat box. So please make note that the word of the day is eloquent. What does it mean? Eloquent? Does anyone know? Okay, so I have shared it in the chat box, no problem. It means expressing ideas clearly, gracefully, with strong impact. One example sentence that we can take is her eloquent explanation made even a complex idea feel simple and beautiful. Coming to the phrase of the day, we have spark joy. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's not spark joy. It's actually in other words. By mistake, there was one error. But the phrase of the day is in other words, which is a transitional phrase. And the meaning is it is used to clarify or restate an idea in a simpler or a more direct way. Uh, One example sentence can be he kept delaying his tasks. In other words, he lacked motivation. I'll request all of you to please use the word of the day and phrase of the day in your table topic speeches. Whenever a person uses it, I'll be showing a thumbs up. And towards the end of the meeting, I'll be presenting my report when called by the general evaluator. So, all the best to all the speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay, for sharing a brief about your timer's role today. Next up, I have our R counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Sia Agarwal, who has already introduced herself, but just in case someone has joined late, she's a second year BBA student from SRMS College. She hails from Bareilly and is also a part of SRMS Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Sia Agarwal, can you please brief about your role today?
So thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Am I correct, Nikhil? Okay, Toastmaster Nikhil. I am playing the role of our counter today. The role of our counter is to see the filler words and the pause and the crunches used during the speeches. While any speakers speaks during the meeting, I will be noting all the filler words, pauses, and the repeated words which are used by the speaker. And I will be presenting my report at the end of the meeting when I will record. So thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia. So again, as the general evaluator and along with my tag team, we'll be evaluating the whole meeting and will be presenting our reports when called upon by Toastmaster of the day. Till then, over to you. Over to one of the most eloquent speakers that I've ever come across in Toastmasters, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pulkit.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Nikhil, who sparks joy. So we both have used the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Perfect. Thank you so much, Nikhil. We will now be continuing with our discussion before we open the table topics segment. We discussed the first C, which is curiosity. Let's discuss the next two C's in quick succession. Characters and circumstance. Us human speech, at least, is incomplete without characters. Your character, and one way to build your characters is just give your characters a hint. Sometimes in our stories, we go above and beyond in describing the character. For example, I saw a girl in red skirt and red top wearing red earrings, and she had red glasses, red hair. She was wearing Nike shoes. She had Louis Vuitton purse. She had X and Y. I mean, that's counterproductive. Give characters a hint. For example, I can also say, I saw a girl in a little red dress, and boy, was she beautiful. And let your audiences fill the rest. How she looked, how her hair was, what shoes was she wearing, how her hands were. Let them fill it. So I will say that instead of saying that I went to my school and my school had blue walls, blue gate, black roads, 3x4 desk. I will always say I went to my school through the little blue gate, and that's it. Let the audience fill the rest in. It's called giving your characters or visuals a hint. For example, if I say I saw a big burly man with a big handlebar mustache, everyone each will imagine that man being different. What he's wearing, how his eyes are, how his hair is, how big he is. Is he 7 feet tall? Is he 6 feet tall? Uh, is he 100 kgs? Is he just built like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Let each one of your audience member fill the rest. Give your characters a hint. So say that girl was the most beautiful, most her face was as bright as moonlight, and that's it. Let them imagine what moonlight is for them. Uh, let them imagine her as fair or dark or short or tall or wearing Indian traditional dress or Western traditional dress. Let them Western dress. Let them fill the rest. Remember, your audience connects with not what you say. They connect with what you see when you say that, when you say those words. And if you do not let the audience create those visuals, co-create those visuals along with you. Remember, public speaking is temperance. If you give too less hint, they'll be confused. Okay, if you give too much hint, they won't get a chance to co-create with you, and they will feel cognitively bummed or challenged. You want them to feel cognitively engaged while giving them a direction. Give them a direction. Don't give the entire, just don't hand over the entire thing to them. Give them a direction which can help them co-create it with you. So co-creation is the keyword here. Give them hint. Secondly, characters need to have dialogues. There's a reason why we keep on saying in stories and speeches that your speech had too less dialogue or too much narration. Your speech or story has three components to it. Statements, which is narration mostly, dialogues and engagement. Most of your speeches or stories are statements. I have to say that I went to my mom and said, Mom, where is my food? But I have to use the words I went to my mom and said. I cannot just say, Mom, where is my food? Out of the blue, because it's not a stage play, it's a speech. So your speech will, 60% of it will be statements, but 20% of it should be dialogues. This is why we say, when possible, make your characters say dialogues than narration. Why do you think we say that? Why do you think we, so instead of saying that I went to my mom and asked, Mom, where is the food? I am hungry. Versus I say, I went to my mom and said, Mom, where is the food? I'm hungry. Why do you think we advocate for dialogues versus narration so much? What does dialogues do?
I'll like to try.
Sure, Tanmay.
They give a personality to our character.
That's one for sure. Thanks, Tanmay. What other thing a dialogue does?
I'll give it a shot. So,
Sure,
from my point of view, I feel it accentuates our message and adds to the overall credibility of what we want to say. So, it should, if in sync, that can be something that can add a lot more value to what we are speaking. It's just depending on how we put it across, is what I feel. Yeah.
I cannot agree less on the credibility part of Sankhya. Accentuating our message, Sankhya, I think dialogues won't let you accentuate your message, but yes, it can help you build credibility before
Right.
you deliver the message. That's a brilliantly put one. Thanks, Sankhya. Yes, sir. Sia.
I guess it tells about the personality of the characters.
Yeah, personality, like Tanmay also reiterated. Yes, yeah, that's true. But most importantly, not most modally, but I think accentuation of personality, uh, credibility building, both are equally important. But I think the third paradigm over here is it helps you let your audience relive your stories rather than you retelling them. So relive versus retell. A big part of storytelling is talk in present tense. For example, if I say, I went to my school yesterday and I saw the teacher who used to always scold me, and I thought, uh, today he won't be able to scold me. Just a random example. But I say, I'm walking towards the gate of my school when I see the teacher who used to always scold me right in front of me. I look at him and he looks at me, and in my heart I know today he won't be able to scold me. Two things. One was tell in a retelling fashion. When you tell events from a vantage point of the past, so or you are sitting in the present and retelling it from a vantage point of your present. So if you are telling it from a present vantage point, you will always use went or gone or I said to him and he talked to me. But if you talk from a vantage point of things happening from a present, right? For example, instead of say talked, I say, I'm talking to Tanmay, and he looks at me and exclaims, Pulkit, you are looking like a joker today. If I do this, audience will be able to imagine the scene along with me. So it's called relive versus retell. And reliving is always better. So relive your stories with your audience, don't retell it. Dialogues help you make your audience relive your experiences. They can basically picture you selling that. So I say, I went to my boss and said that, hey boss, or say, I went to my boss and asked him, when are you giving me promotion? Versus I went to my boss and exclaimed, boss, when are we having promotion this year? People can just fill the rest that, hey, Pulkit is in the cabin and he's exclaimed to a boss. Or someone will say that Pulkit is perhaps at the cafe. So let them just fill the rest. But the important thing is they can imagine you telling the dialogue. That's the dialogue pattern. Let's discuss the circumstance before we open the table topics. Circumstance is very simple. It's about, we always tell in storytelling, start with the location and action. So most of public speaking is, or storytelling is, how much can you pull the audience in? So all the present tense, tap and transport, if you think about it, it's all for engagement. How much can I hook my audiences? Circumstances, if you start with location and action, it helps the audience understand where the story is playing out. For example, if I say that I'm sitting at a cafe in the back side, or I'm sitting at the back side of the cafe and I see a girl walking in. I have introduced the character who is the girl, but the audience now knows the circumstances that Pulkit is at a cafe and he's sitting at the back side of the cafe and a girl is walking in. A circumstance is just a technical part of the story, a location and action. Where are you currently and what is happening right now? So for example, if I say, I'm standing at a bus stop in Delhi and I see a green colored DTC bus zooming by. Perhaps you can just imagine yourself standing at a bus stop in Delhi and you can see a bus zooming by. That's the idea of certain circumstance, set the stage. So circumstance is a technical part of it. Because like I said, you need to give your audiences a direction, a hint. If you do not give, for example, if I say, I'm standing and I see a bus zooming by. Confusion, right? Are you standing at your office? Are you standing at your school? And then are you seeing the bus zooming by from your 5th floor window? Are you seeing it from, let's say, helicopter? Are you seeing so if you give them too little hint, that's a problem. They won't be able to follow you. If you give too much hint, for example, I'm standing at a bus stop which is 10 years old. It's all rusty. It has this Nika ad and the bus with 2 headlights, one broken, and the bus driver is wearing flannel shirt and black sunglasses. Too much information. This is why I just started location and action. I'm standing at a bus stop in Delhi and see a green bus stopping by. Let the audience fill the rest. Circumstances set. So the 3 C's are simple. You make them curious, which we discuss at tap and transport formula. Tap into your audience's world before you transport them to your world. And that is mainly done by using you-focused questions. The more you or yours, your first question will have, more the better. make them curious, foreshadowing, transport to your story. Don't explain that today I'm going to tell a story about how I got to be a better public speaker. Just start the story. It was year 2022 and I walked into TMCL. Start with the story. Then characters, give them a hint. Do not give over information. Sure, Geeta. Um, have dialogues because your speech has dialogues, statements, and the engagement. Engagement is questions and circumstance, location and action. The last three C's, conflict, cure, and change. We will discuss that briefly after table topics before we open the cheese segment. But right now is your time to shine. Table topics will now roll on, and I encourage each one of you, or as many topics can be accommodated, please do step up and enjoy the thrill of public speaking. May I call the table topics master, who is someone who works really hard behind the scenes to set the meetings up at TMCL. He's a VP Ed, and I do believe the VP Eds are the most overworked officers in any club. Very tough role. I'll just read his formal introduction because I know him, but the formals introduction is something I also need to read. Our table topics master is from the world's first democracy, Vaishali, which is in Bihar. He's a graduate in history, loves reading and listening to books. I also love Audible. I am more like a auditory learner, so reading was amazing. He has also served TMCL as a secretary, the sergeant at arms, and is now currently serving as the vice president education, which is the second highest office in ExCom. Let's welcome your table topics master, Toastmaster Suraj. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Pulkar, for having me and for such a kind introduction. And once again, very wonderful good evening to all dear Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm your today's table topics master, and before I start asking for the volunteers, I would request all of you that this is not going to be a stage for showing off your eloquency, but to learn and perform, including the eloquency. And the topics are somewhere around the today's theme, that's all about storytelling. And I think table topic session is one of the best opportunities to come forward and tell just one story, short or long, of your life, and where you can explain, you can talk about your story for 2 minutes. About timing, I hope it's 1 minute and 30 seconds is 2 minutes. And I would again repeat about today's word of the day, that is eloquent, and the idiom of the day, that is sparks joy. I would request each and every participant to use word of the day and idiom of the day, and sorry, phrase of the day. It's phrase of the day. And I would request all the members here to encourage the speaker by raising your hand whenever he or she uses word of the day and phrase of the day. And now I would ask for volunteer, and we do have very less members, so I do feel that we all can participate and learn something. And I am sure that till now we have learned lots of things from the team or theme, and this is the best opportunity to learn and perform. So let's make it happen here. And I would request to volunteer someone and choose the numbers between 1 and 8. Okay, so thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. So basically, today we can't excuse, or any one of us cannot excuse that I have already taken a role, so I cannot raise my hand for the table topic session, because most of the people who are here, they have already taken the role. But despite the role which we all are taking today, right? We have to opt for the table topics so that we can make it more vibrant. And so obviously, I have for first volunteer, Toastmaster Nikhil. So Toastmaster Nikhil, I would request you to choose the number between 1 and 8.
Number 3.
Okay, number 3. Number Toastmaster Nikhil. A conversation that transformed you. A conversation that transformed you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suraj, for this topic. And in fact, there have been so many conversations that have helped me reach where I am. And I could probably have written an essay on it of multiple pages had I had this not been a table topic. But since it's a table topic, I'm not able to remember even one of them. But still, I have to speak for 2 minutes, so I will still choose, one conversation that I had with one of my bosses when I started my articleship, CA articleship, and intentionally I wanted to move away from the very core fields that generally CA articles or CAs work in. But so I decided to go with a very relatively newer firm. The my boss, the my principal, basically happened to be a government employee before he switched to his own CA firm. And one thing, when I started, I was this very naive newbie who did not know anything, was very nervous, anxious, had no relation with confidence whatsoever. But then when I started working, there was this one thing that he told me that stuck with me even today. And he said, I have not been working in this field for a longer time as compared to other CAs. I started recently, and I do not have answers to all your questions. And when you start working, you will be coming up with many questions, and I will not be able to answer each of the most of them, because I do not have that experience. And that is what I'm going to give you through this articleship, that you will relish after a few years, that you will have to find your answers yourself. You try Google, reach out to your friends. If you want, I can help you reach out to people who know the answers, but definitely I will not have all the answers. And that is where I started looking. That I would say that habit that I built there has stayed with me and has helped me become what I am today. That is finding solutions to problems when it comes, and not just running away from them. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Oh, sorry, table talk master.
Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil, for this story. And if we look back every conversation and we just try to go deep dive, we will realize that yes, every conversation has left us changed, a little changed. And I'll just take a few seconds here and I'll talk about one of my conversation with a person whom I met a few months ago, and it was September 2024. I was in an event, a boot camp kind of thing. And just imagine I am sitting here facing each other, cross leg down, and we had to held each other's hand, right? The instruction from my mentor was to look at each other's eyes and then appreciate each other, right? Appreciate. And that was the moment. And when you are quite shy when it comes to having conversation or being around your opposite gender, then it's gonna be one of the toughest activities of your life. And that was with me, and it was Aditi, you must be knowing. And I was trying to look at the eyes. Every time my gaze fell, and but again it was an instruction from my mentor, and I looked at eyes, and then I started appreciating her. Later on I got appreciated, and that conversation, I would say, helped me to overcome the shyness which I was having. And I think that was again that was a very very transformational moment for me, because once you just leave something behind like shyness, then again you feel quite changed. With that, I would like to move forward, and I would like to have second table topic speaker here. Uh, Toastmaster Tanmay, Toastmaster Alex, please raise your hand. I mean, yeah, we do have Kumar Mahindra guest. So, to guest Kumar Mahindra, are you there? Would you like to take up any table
Yes,
topic?
yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are absolutely audible. Uh,
Okay.
could you please choose any number between 1 and 8 except 3?
Number eight.
Number
Eight.
8. 8. 8. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mahinder. Toastmaster Kumar, title of your next life chapter. Title of your next life chapter, Kumar Mahinder.
Thank you, Table Topping Master. Talking of my next life, I would like to be a complete volunteer with enough funds, sufficient funds, and I don't have to depend on anyone. So the title of my next life will be Living for Others. Not for myself, but for others. Helping out, doing things that others cannot do themselves. Maybe with some help, I managed to bring them up to a certain level to be independent. So, title of my life, as I told you, is to help others and being a volunteer. At present, I'm in so many voluntary organizations, helping a little bit here and there. But what I actually want to do is, to create a fund where anyone who is not able to fund himself can apply and become independent and join us in our future program. Helping people is the best thing I can do. I've been in committees of the United Nations, disaster committee, relief funds when there were thousands, hundreds of refugees who came to Malaysia. I was a treasurer there, and I think I did a good job. Another one is in voluntary organizations like Lottery and Apex. Also, I've done number of voluntary organizations, and I myself have signed up as a donor for organ donation, and I'm a regular blood donor, having donated about 100 times up to date. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kumar. I am really moved listening to you when I could see the courage, with the courage which you were talking, and how you mentioned very simple yet powerful thing that helping someone makes you so happy. And definitely when you help someone, uh, you sparks joy in the people's eyes, and that's really amazing. And it's about your next life chapters, so that is also very great to start with. And similarly, I would just leave a question here in front of all of you, that uh, most of the time we tend to compare our present life with the life which we were having 5 years ago, right? Sometimes we compare our past with present, most of the time. Have you ever thought of comparing our present life with the future life? I mean, where we are today and in next 5 years, after 5 years, where do we want to see ourselves? We may think, but do we really analyze past 5 years and then analyzing all those things? We customize our actions and thoughts for next 5 years. Think about it. I'll move forward. And with that, I'd request someone on the stage. I can see Toastmaster Sankhya, are you there? Okay, Sia has raised her hand. So, okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia. Toastmaster Sia, please choose a number between 1 and 8, except 8 and 3.
I will like to go with number 4.
Okay, number 4. Okay, thank you so much.
Before that, can anyone please count my R counter as I'm playing the R counter?
Okay, as a table topic master,
I'll
I
do
will
that.
be picking up that.
I can do
Okay,
that.
okay.
Okay, Toastmaster Sankhya is also there. Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sankhya. Toastmaster Sia, a hard-earned life lesson. A hard-earned life lesson, Toastmaster Sia.
It is hard.
Yes,
Okay. Can you give me 30 seconds for thinking?
sure, you have.
Actually, it is one of the lesson of my life in which I have a conversation with my sister, uh, in which I have learned a lesson that shows me a reality check of mine. That she asked me some questions that what capabilities you have or what talents you have to do any business or a job in future or in any office. And at that time I really think about it, and I realized that I don't have that much talent to start any startup or business or nowadays that. And uh, as such, and I have also don't have any skills also. So uh, that's one of the reality check that has been given by my sister to me, that at present you don't have any uh, skills or talent that people want to see in the office or any business. So it was one of the hard learned lesson that I have to work upon myself very much, as I don't stand anywhere today. Uh, at that time, as I don't stand anywhere in that in the situation. So that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia. And I think the best ever lesson you have now. You know, the very time we get to know that self-growth is the only way to for the course of life, then that helps us in our profession, in our learning process, in our relationship, in our health. And that's what I do vouch for this particular, lesson. Thank you so much. Next, we have Toastmaster Sankhya as a table topic speaker. And I would request Toastmaster Sankhya to choose any number between 1 and 8 except 8, 4, and 3.
7.
7. Okay. So, Toastmaster Sankhya, bringing emotion into a stories. Bringing emotion into a stories, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suraj. Uh, Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, how many of how many times have you got that feedback that there is maybe the evaluator says that you can add some anecdotal references, some stories, some personal touch to your speech? A quick raise of hand. How many of you have got that feedback? I get that a lot, and I even give that a lot. Uh, for me, the soul. So, if Suraj, if you can just repeat the topic, it's about the soul of.
It's bringing emotion into a
Sorry,
stories.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So So the reason I feel that we all talk about in Toastmasters, that adding some pointers from maybe our life add overall like a uh, supporting content to the overall speech, is because when we try to add something from our point of view, something from our life, there is some emotion that automatically comes into the picture, and that does add value to the overall speech, and that does connect. So I heard one of the world champions say that our objective should be to be able to connect with the audience, to be relatable with the audience, and that only happens when we are ourselves and we are able to present what we go through, what our struggles are all about. And that only comes into the picture when we share about our struggles, and automatically that emotion is like a catalyst in terms of expressing our struggles and our day-to-day challenges, maybe the mundane things, that the boring things that we might feel might not be making a lot of difference in the lives of others, but if said in the right way, articulated in the right manner, can go a long way in uh, giving that edge that you are able to give your like message effectively, or cast your spell in terms of delivering overall winning speech, is what I'll say. So for sure, emotions do add a lot of value, and only when added through our personal stories will add that charm and make will be the cherry on the cake, is what I feel in terms of the delivery or the content part. That's all from my side. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanket. So you mentioned insight right from the evaluators' feedback to the Toastmaster, champions of the Toastmaster International. So that was something amazing I could notice, and this is also one of the greatest lessons which just has been shared by the Toastmaster of the day. That emotion is the soul of your story. So with that, I'll move forward, and I would like to see someone's hand raised so that I can pick topic. And timer also, you can notify me whenever I just cross the time. I think I'll take 1 to 2 topics more, and then we'll wrap up the table topics session. I would request Toastmaster Alex.
I can take.
Yeah, I think for you I can time.
No, no, I'll manage.
Okay, you'll manage. Thank you so much. Okay. So please, I would request you to choose number between 1 and 8, except 3, 4, and 8 and 7.
On number 6.
Okay, number 6. Toastmaster Alex. Your before after moment. Your before after moment. Toastmaster Alex. Let me know if I need to interpret the topic a bit more.
Yes, can you please
Okay,
elaborate?
so before after moment, it means any event of your life which has changed the course of your life. I mean, before that you were something else, or you were having something else, and after that you uh, are changed. You had different life. So that is something which the topic means.
Yeah. Uh, very good evening to all fellow Toastmaster present here. So my before and after moment of my life, I would say is the competition, a healthy competition which I got through from my friends. So the topic which I'm going to speak is about not about particularly the it's a friend or that. It's about how it impacted my life. So before I used to be a kind of lazy person and didn't do as much as I wanted. In my early classes, I didn't used to pay that much of attention, and because I didn't have that friend group of friend circles, which at that time I was very little and I don't know uh, how the things works. So I had literally like a very few idea about it, like how I should be studying, or how it should how I should put efforts to that, how I should there are many responsibilities. So when I grew up, and I found that hey, it can be uh, taken as a challenge for to your life, or challenge to anyone, or you can bet with your friends, or and say that hey, let's do this, whoever scores more in this test will get this from me, or get this from that. So my turning point was that when I keep on doing this thing, it made me better, and uh, it made me better and better, and yeah, so this was my before and after, I would say. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex, for describing your before and after moment. And now I do think that I can go for the one and last topic. So anyone who is willing to go. I think I'll just ask the very few member who is left now. I mean, Toastmaster Tanmay, do you think that... Okay, Toastmaster Tanmay, take the last topic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Choose any number,
Um,
2, 5, 2 or 5. I have two numbers, so you can choose any of the numbers.
2.
2, 1, 2, 5. Okay, three numbers I do have. 2, okay. Toastmaster Tanmay, what makes a story unforgettable? What makes a story unforgettable, Toastmaster Tanmay?
I'll take a few moments to just
Sure.
collect my thoughts and all right. Uh, uh, hmm. So what makes a story truly unforgettable? Before I share my insights with you, I'd like to just want all of you to remind yourself the pointers that Toastmaster Pulkit shared with us today as to what truly are the basic ingredients of a story. I'm sure all of us clearly remember them. We have circumstance, like I'm stating in no particular order, but here's are the there are circumstances, there are characters, and there is a problem statement for which there is a cure, and there were two more, if I am uh, just, I have written. There were two more. Like what I want to say is the answer is hidden in these few aspects of the story itself. Uh, as to what makes a story truly impactful. As an example, if I have to say, there's one story that has really impacted me and helped me become a better person that and make better choices. It was a story of a Japanese folk tale, the tale of Princess Kaguya, and it questioned our ability as to what we are supposed to do as a human on a fundamental level, comparing to uh, all other life forms, be it trees, be it birds, be it insects, and what are we doing? It used to question that. And the most important thing which made that story impactful was how the main character responded to the situations and took corrective action towards whatever was the circumstance in which they were living. And that is what inspired me to create a better decision when it came to my own life. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pulkit, for the tips.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay. It shows that yes, we all are into the meeting and not anywhere else. And thank you so much for becoming the speaker, because as soon as you choose to speak during table topics session, that really spark the joy in the eyes of table topics master, right? So thank you so much for that again. And now I would hand over the baton back to Toastmaster Pulkit, Toastmaster of the day.
Sure. Thanks, Suraj. Thank you so much, and thanks, Tanmay, for trying to remember. It's basically the first three C's are curiosity, characters, and circumstance. The technicals. The first three C's are technicals. The next three C's are the emotional side, the conflict, because problems incite emotional responses. So conflict, cure. If you bring in the problem, show us the solution. Audiences want solution. This is the message. If you have ever seen an evaluator asking what's the point is the cure, the message. And the last one is the change. A story demands an emotional shift. And this is what makes a story memorable. A speech should be actionable, memorable, and relatable, right? Like Asankhya even said, relatable. Actionable is call to action. Memorable is when it incites a emotional shift in us. If I see Tanmay changing emotionally, perhaps something will change inside of me. We are humans after all. So this is where change is the last. A story without a change is an anecdote. We don't want that. So let's just recap in 1 to 2 minutes before I hand it back to our toast. Before I open GE segment, we'll have a short GE segment with the attack role players. What's conflict anyways? Conflict is a problem. Remember, if you want to have a story, you have to have a problem. And the problem is to start small. It's called the escalation of conflict. We won't delve into that, we won't have time, but the mental model is have a problem. Show us that you cannot speak on stage. Show us that you cannot see people eye to eye. For example, Suraj shared the problem, right? When you share problems with us, you show us vulnerability. Similarity makes you special. Because when I share a problem, I show that I am similar to you. If I share public speaking, super easy for me. I was a genius. I was born to do that. You people who are mortals, audience will they'll throw you out of their mind. You have to show them that you feared public speaking. And to be honest, you have to be honest. Maybe you did not fear public speaking, but you feared something. Perhaps you weren't very fit. Perhaps you overate. Perhaps you obese. Perhaps you failed in academics. Share the problems you have had, and then show us the solution. Cure actually comes with a climax. When a guru comes, from in Dilwale Dulhan Le Jayenge, the guru is the actor Amrish Puri who says Ja Simran Ji Lagan Sindhi. Ultimately, he comes in and shows a solution. He redeems the character. So in your case, the guru has to be an external actor. It could be a book. It could be a movie. It could be an internal musing. It could be an external. Ideally, it should be an external character, spouse, mom, dad, friend, someone who shows you the way, guru. And changes when you start realizing that you have changed. In one of my speeches, at the very start, I shared that I did not believe I could be cool. I was a nerd. But then at the end, I realized that I too can be cool, because true coolness does not come from being flashy or loud. It comes from having a heart that cares. I established why in my speech, but I was someone who did not believe I can be cool, versus I went on to be a person who believes I can be cool, because all it requires is to have a heart that cares. True coolness comes from being a caring person. So I have changed emotionally. So the change has to be apparent. And ideally, at the change part, you will end your speech or have a call to action at max. So that's the 360 model. And I will just end with this, that remember that your little moments makes the greatest stories. You don't have to scale Mount Everest. For example, if you have two stories, one story is about you not being able to see anyone eye to eye, versus you being someone who looks at your director at a big company event eye to eye and says, "Good morning, sir." versus you being someone who believes that I cannot scale Mount Everest, versus you going on to scale Mount Everest. If you ask audiences, the very first story will actually resonate more, because someone who is not able to look people eye to eye and say good morning perhaps will be inspired to just go tomorrow at the office and they will look the boss eye to eye and say, boss, good morning. You make your speech actionable. Trifacta: actionable, relatable, memorable. Relatability comes from sharing your losses, conflict. Actionability comes from sharing things which we can immediately implement. Memorability is a factor of many things, one of which is emotions, also language, rhetorical devices like similes, metaphors, if you've heard of it, that technical side. So memorability comes from a mixture of stuff, but make it, but that's what I will end with. Little moments makes the greatest stories. So tell your stories, be memorable, and change lives. Let's now open the general evaluative segment. We'll just have tag role players before we move on to the presiding of segment. Over to you, general evaluator Nikhil. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pulkit, for such an insightful session and for handing over the stage to me. Before my general evaluator report, I would like to request my tag team to come one by one and share their reports, starting with a timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Alex. Toastmaster Alex, please share your report.
So, hey everyone, this is the timer report for today's meeting. So in today's meeting, Sia took 1 minute and 36 seconds. Toastmaster Tanmay took 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Toastmaster Nikhil took 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Toastmaster Alex, that is me, I took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Toastmaster Kumar Mahindra took 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and Toastmaster Asankhya took 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So this is from my side, and back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex. Next up, we have our counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Sia. Please present a report.
So thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil, for that. Toastmaster Nikhil has used 4 to 5 times ask, and the repeated words vary. Toastmaster Mahendra has used three to three times, and the repeated word what. Toastmaster Akankshe used uh, um, 3 to 3 times. Toastmaster Alex has used many times. You can see to it next time and take care of it. And Toastmaster Tanmay has used 3 to 4 times and overall it was good. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia, for that crisp report. Next up, we have Toastmaster Tanmay for would be presenting the report for the grammarian role.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. For the grammarians report, I'd like to first share how many Toastmasters have spoken the word of the day as well as the phrase of the day. So the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Suraj, Toastmaster Pulkit, and Toastmaster Nikhil. Toastmaster Suraj used the word eloquent multiple times. So kudos on that, Toastmaster Suraj. And the phrase of the day, spark joy, was used by Toastmaster Pulkit and Toastmaster Suraj. Coming to good usage of English and grammar, there was a simile used by one of our like our T mod only, where he compared to like as a smile, like it was a simile, and it was used by Toastmaster Pulkit. So kudos on that, and that's about it. I'll be now. I'd like to now call Toastmaster Nikhil. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay, for your report. Since we do not have any evaluators or any prepared speech sections, I'll skip that and move to the general evaluator report. So the meeting, I myself joined in a little late, but I can see that the meeting started a little late. So that is first thing that we can improve on. Second, kudos to Toastmaster Suraj, who in absence of Sergeant at Arms as well as the presiding officer, handled both the roles pretty well and made sure that the meeting gets started, and he filled in for both of the roles. So thank you, Toastmaster Suraj, for taking up both the roles and ensuring that the meeting is started as soon as it could be. Then next up, we had our Toastmaster of the day, and it just it was such an enlightening session, such an insightful session, and honestly speaking, for me, it was not more like a theme of a meeting, but a workshop that I understand probably in some time Toastmaster Pulkit uh, can probably start charging for the same, and so I think we all are privileged that we have got to witness this and this knowledge that he has shared with us, and although I'm still sure that he would be giving us some discounts. But on a serious note, that was such an enlightening session, and especially when that is what you expect when you have someone like Toastmaster Pulkit, such an experienced Toastmaster, as the Toastmaster of the day. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Pulkit. I really cannot find any recommendation on that part for you. So thank you so much for sharing all the insights. Next up, we had Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Suraj, who conducted the session in a very smooth manner. Came up with some interesting topics, and one thing I would suggest is Toastmaster Suraj, that when we have only a limited number of members and whosoever is the table topic master in such meetings, we can ask obviously for once to members that if they want to volunteer. But when we know that we can cover all of them, we should save time, and instead of asking every time who wants to volunteer, just pick each of them one by one and start sharing the topics. At the same time, I would suggest members who are present that when the table topic master is asking from you to volunteer, and when you know that your turn is anyway going to come because we have only a handful number of members, and just raise your hand or just participate. That expedites the process. So that is something we all can take care of going forward. Then again, next up, we had the reports from our tech team. I think that the reports were very precise and brief. Something that I wanted to mention was regarding the grammarians report, and that. So Toastmaster Tanmay, just wanted to mention one thing, that, for example, when you share something, when you highlight, say, for example, you are highlighting a simile used by Toastmaster Pulkit, I would request, you can just, because not probably not all the members present know what is a simile. So as a grammarian, it should be your responsibility to make them aware of it before you share it, so that adds to the value that you are creating as the grammarian to this meeting. So that is something that came to my mind, would like to share. And again, the meeting started a little late, but I think we are pretty much on time to end it. And thank you so much once again to Toastmaster Suraj for carrying this meeting throughout, and very aptly supported by Toastmaster of the Day. That is my report, and I myself filled in a little late, so I hope I did justice to the role and covered all the points. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. Nikhil, you're on time. I thought we are 17 minutes late. Does the official time is 6 p.m.?
No, I meant that by the time we started, as per that, we are pretty much on time.
Got it, Nikhil. That makes sense. Thank you so much, our general evaluator. That was very, I'll say, actionable report. Ultimately, our general evaluators, your experiences ensure that you're able to filter out the most actionable points, and Nikhil's experience definitely shown through. I won't take much time now because we are technically, with our reference point, we are on time, but still we are 18 minutes late. I will be now requesting our presiding officer take the stage and bring the meeting to completion. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for your engagement today. I will now be ending my Toastmaster Day role, and over to you, Toastmaster Suraj.
Uh, okay, so thank you so much. So, as presiding officer himself has come, so Toastmaster Nikhil, will you be
Yeah, I think you can carry on, Toastmaster Suraj. I'll just add once we
okay?
finish.
Okay, sure. So, thank you so much. And as aptly mentioned by Toastmaster Nikhil, that the Toastmaster of the Day's theme was pretty much kind of workshop, and I would also think that it's a kind of educational session for everyone, though I'm a bit sad, I would say, because you didn't have a large audience, because such session really deserves, so many members, so that everyone can get enriched by your insights, right? And everything, I was awe inspiring while listening to you, getting the actual, methods and the topic, the mental model, the terminology itself was new to me, and I was quite curious to listen to you. And but you didn't let yourself feel that, yes, you are having very less number of audiences, right? You were in very good spirit, and you were as vibrant as usual, right? And so thanks a lot for such a great session. And I think thank you so much, Sia, Toastmaster Sia, who had joined. And as soon as she joined, she was burdened with the role of a counter. So Toastmaster Sia, the experiences, if you would like to share with all of us, we'd like to hear.
Yes, sure, Toastmaster. My experience was great joining this meeting, and I would love to know about you, all of you, as you all are new to me. So that overall it was good, and I learned many things, and I love to know about 6C model of the story, which was given by Toastmaster Pulkit. Actually, I'm a person who loves to listen stories and make stories, so I love to know about how the stories are made and what six main elements of the stories are there. So it was a wonderful experience for me. And later, I will also like to know about you all, that how the work is being going on in the organizations, different, as you belongs to different fields and organizations. So I will love to know about each of them. That's all. Over to you, Toastmaster Suraj.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia, and I'm so much happy to see the curiosity inside you to know about varied backgrounds, right? That is something which I think a great thing if someone is having the curiosity. Of course, everyone is here, professional, in different backgrounds, I would say, right? And for that, I think if we do have time, 1 minute, we all can talk to Sia, right? And of course, I have already mentioned about myself, and 2 to 3 people I have already been introduced. So hope that would be enough. But still, the people who will be coming over the stage right now, they will be speaking to you about themselves. And I have already talked about myself, that I'm working with central government employee, and as a central government employee, and here I have been the part of this Toastmaster for more than 2 years. As a VP8 right now I'm serving, and that's all from my end. And I would also like to thank each and everyone. First of all, Toastmaster of the Day, for having your, Toastmaster of the Day theme and session in advance. Toastmaster Tanmay, so much. Thank you so much for assisting me, Toastmaster Nikhil, and Toastmaster Sankhya, for you know opening the link. I think Zoom Meet right in time, and thank you so much, Sia, for opting for the role as well. So for a successful happening of this meeting, uh, the credit goes to all of you, and thank you so much for that. Because right now the things which we are facing, that is that normal meeting can be conducted or not, right? So that is a little, I would say, just a normal struggle, I would say, that the TMCL is going through. But but what I have realized that even if there are 6 to 7 people, meeting can be conducted efficiently in a very good manner. So now I would hand over the stage to Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suraj. Just wanted to check, are you launching the polls?
Yes, I think I can launch the polls.
Please do it. For the time being, I'll take over the stage. And just something that I wanted to mention is that a big thank you to Toastmaster Suraj. And obviously, you can say that he's a VPN, but for last couple of weeks, I've been running crazily busy, and still he has the way he has, not just in the meeting, the build up to these meetings, the last two meetings, everything has been executed by him, and I'm so glad to have him with me, because I really haven't been able to give a lot of time, and still the meetings are happening in itself is a big thing. And all the credit to Toastmaster Suraj for doing everything possible, and I'm extremely sorry for my absence. But again, I would request all all of us that are present here, can we please have an applause for Toastmaster Suraj, because he's the reason that the meetings are still going on. And hopefully I would be more present going forward from now onwards. And also thank you to Toastmaster Tanmay for assisting Toastmaster Suraj in the build up to this meeting, be it the flyers, etc. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanmay. And I think the polls, do we have the results, Toastmaster Suraj?
No, no, we don't have. I'm just looking to looking at it how to edit the names, because the option for edition I'm not getting it. I'm just seeing. So that's the problem I'm facing right now.
Suraj, can you help me with the names right away? I'll just do it in the next 1 minute.
Yes, I can help you with the names.
Yes, probably you can drop the names in the chat box.
Yes.
So, and again, yeah, one more thing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sia, for attending this meeting and taking up the role of our counter. So, as we can see, obviously, we were lacking some role players. So, thank you so much for taking up the role at the very penultimate moment and
It's
helping
my
us conduct
pleasure,
it.
Toastmaster Nikhil.
And I hope, at least I mean, the table topic session and teamwork session would have added some value that you were seeking from this meeting. And obviously, I have already thanked Toastmaster Pulkit, and once again, as I completely agree with Toastmaster Suraj that this type of theme really deserves a much bigger audience. And hopefully we will uh, trouble you again, and would like you to conduct this session once again when we have a full-fledged audience here. And obviously, I mean, it would be for the benefit of all the people, all the members of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. But nevertheless, it was a very enriching session, Toastmaster Pulkit, and it's not anymore a surprise. Whenever you conduct a session, it's always enriching. So thank you so much. Toastmaster Sankhya, do you have the names, or should we announce it?
I have the names. Just allow me another few seconds.
Nikhil, so I just want to add on the 6 7 members. In Kolkata Advance as well, we only have 6 to 10 members at max who join every week. But we are still able to conduct meetings. So I agree. Even if you have just 5 to 10 people, but they are regular enough, right? The club will. Kolkata Advance, we struggle with that as well. Maximum we reach 10 in our meetings, but mostly it's 6 to 7 people, but they are regular. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
completely agree with that. So I think Alex has got dropped off. So Toastmaster, who is the team out for next meeting?
For next meeting, we don't have time. We don't have the name, but for the second next meeting, we have the name.
Okay.
And we will also fill the names during in next meeting. I'll just by Thursday I'll be sure whether like about my availability. Then I will be doing this speech.
Okay. Okay, sure. My speech are also due. have been.
I can
I don't know
understand.
when was the last time I delivered a speech. Probably in the district finals only. Since then, I have not delivered any speech. So, but yes, it's due for a long time now. And also, Toastmaster Tanmay,
Yes,
what
Toastmaster
have you
Pulkit.
decided? So, in the meantime, Toastmaster Sankhya is sharing the polls. Just wanted to check if you would like to take any role for the next meeting.
Mm. I can take a table topic speaker or a table topic master or tag team roles. I can try take one of those, either one of those.
Okay, whatever you are comfortable with please, communicate it to Toastmaster Suraj.
Mhm.
And as I have discussed with Toastmaster Tanvay, I think I'll be a bit like posting the role players and the flyer kind of things by Wednesday or Thursday. It like
Okay.
not in the nick of time. I think it is. This is something which we are also doing.
Also, thank you so much, Toastmaster Pulkit. I was thinking about this topic and I wanted to learn about more how story is actually built in general. And then I didn't even expect that you were like planning to conduct such a session. So thank you so much for it.
Welcome, welcome. Thanks.
So now you know he can read minds as well. Another skill that Pulkit has. So I hope everyone has casted their votes.
I have just received 33% of the votes. Please requesting everyone to cast. I have removed the co-host access for everyone. Please. I hope Nikhil and Suraj you're getting the option to cast your votes.
No, I didn't get it actually. I think if we have the once we have the majority, we can just announce.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll share the results with you. Done.
Mhm. With whom have you shared? Okay.
With you.
Okay, so we have the results and the the award for best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Sia. She has left the meeting. The award for the best uh, role player goes to Toastmaster Pulkit, as expected. And best table topic speaker for today's meeting is goes to myself. So yeah. So that's it. We do not have the certificates. Sorry, and I'm yet to switch on the lights. So, but again, so we'll share the certificates probably in the WhatsApp group. And with that, I would like to, since we do not have our sergeant at arms today, I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Suraj to officially close this meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for having or becoming the part of this wonderful session. And I'm officially the meeting is adjourned.
We
Thank you
can
so
have a
much.
group picture so that we just it's a culture in TMC. We can have the picture because Suraj, do we do
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah. Just a second. Uh, Can everyone switch on the cameras? Okay. Who can click the picture? I have, but in case I'm on my mobile phone, in case someone is
I can
using
do that. I
laptop.
can do that. I can do that. All right. 3, 2, 1. Smile. And clicked.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pulkit, for reminding us of that.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
everyone. Bye.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Just one more thing. Just one more thing. So I hope all of you are also registering, joining in for Toast Fest happening in Kanpur on 7, 6, 7 December. So that is something that I'll encourage all of you to register for. I know Pulkit has already registered, so requesting others as well. If you are there close to the close to this vicinity, then do join us for the Toast Fest as well.
Tanmay
Because
must
it's
be joining.
Tanmay hasn't registered.
No,
I
okay.
am yet to register. I'll actually my plans were a bit unclear in that weekend, so that's why I was in a double mind.
Yeah,
I'll
so
see.
Tanmay, do register before 30th. They are hiking the rates. So 30th
Mm,
prior to that will just help you save some cost. But at the same time, suppose if even if you're not there for both 6th, 7th, but at least on 7th is something I'll encourage you to be there. It would be something since we usually have these sort of sessions primarily more towards the eastern part of our district, that is in Kolkata. This time it's happening in UP, so let's make the most out of it. And at least our
mm,
members would be there, and that eventually that would make it more of something wherein our people are turning up and making our point that we can have more and more events have in this part of the geography as well. So
Hmm.
mm,
do register just Tanmay for sure. And Suraj,
mm.
I know you're in Mumbai, but if it would have been possible, I would recommend you as well if you think that is a possibility.
Sure, sure, sure.
All right.
I would have
Thank you.
registered only if Asankhya had mentioned my name, but it's okay.
No, I know Nikhil will have to be there anyhow.
Compulsory.
Okay, I think we can stop the recording. The recording is still on
Recording, I
in
think,
case
has
Yes.
stopped.
Recording is stopped, right?
Yes,
अच्छा हो
yes.
रहा है, okay, recording चल रही है.